Kia ora. In this short clip, we're going to explore the practical aspects of your e-bike so that you can get the most out of it and have an enjoyable time on the trail. All of our e-bikes have mid-drive motors and pedal assist. That means there is no throttle and you do need to pedal. Turning your e-bike on. Before turning your bike on, make sure your feet are not on the pedals. The best startup position is with you completely off the bike or sitting on the bike with both feet firmly on the ground. If you hear the bike beep at you 3 times and then it shows an exclamation mark with the warning code W013 on screen, then you'll get no pedal assistance. To correct this, turn it off and repeat the startup process with both feet off the pedals. To turn your bike on, hold down the button on the battery and the screen will light up. Once you can see numbers on the screen, then the bike is ready to ride. To turn the bike off, either press the button again or leave the bike for 5 minutes and it will turn itself off. Rider assistance. When your bike starts up, the rider assistance is set to off. Turn on rider assistance by pressing the up arrow and it will switch to eco mode. Keep pressing up to go to normal and high assistance modes. You can cycle through these modes using the up and down arrows. We recommend that you generally ride in eco and use the other assistance levels for inclines and hills. The higher the assistance level, the higher the battery drain. The second part of rider assistance are the gears on the bike. E-bikes are most efficient when your pedaling revolutions per minute, known as cadence, is 60 or above. We call this spinning. Below that cadence, the motor is working for longer each pedal stroke, and this will use more battery. When you're pedaling really slowly, we call this grinding. This graph helps illustrate what we refer to as the e-bike sweet spot. Stay in the sweet spot for the best e-bike experience and the longest battery life. Use the gears on the bike to achieve a cadence of 60 plus in whatever assistance mode you have selected. If you push the thumb shifter, then you'll change down, which makes pedaling easier so your legs can spin faster. If you feel like a mouse on a mouse wheel with your legs spinning too fast, then your gear is too low. Pull the trigger on the other side of the gear shifter to change up a gear. The combination of rider assistance and a low gear is really important when you're riding a steep incline, like you might find at the Kenmure ladder on the Lake Dunstan Trail. Before this climb, you should set your rider assistance to high and change down to your lowest gear using the right-hand thumb shifter. This will make the climb relatively easy. Once the climb flattens out near the top, you'll be able to change up using the right-hand trigger shift and drop your power to normal. Eventually, you'll go back to eco as you approach the high point and start descending. To learn about your cadence, you can push the mode button on your display until you get to the cadence screen. You can use the mode button to get an adaptive view of the range for your bike, given the current assistance level and how fast you're cycling. Note that it is adaptive and changes depending on cadence, surface and gradient. When you do change gears, ease off on the force that you're putting through the pedals while you complete the shift. Change early for climbs, don't wait until the middle of a climb. E-bikes generate a lot of additional torque and changing under load runs the risk of a chain breakage. If you hear the gears crunching as you shift, then you are changing under load. Note that battery management is your responsibility. Stay in the e-bike sweet spot and you'll have more than enough battery for your day. We have selected our fleet to match the requirements of the trails we cater for. Using walk mode. Sometimes you find yourself needing to walk your e-bike up an incline. To make this easier, you can put the bike into walk mode and it will provide assistance while you're walking. To do this, hold the down arrow on your rider assistance control until you see the word walk appear on the screen. Now push and hold on the down arrow as you walk with the bike. It will provide some assistance from the motor. Never try to do this while you are sitting on the bike. It will damage the motor and this event will get logged into the computer. To stop walking, release the button. To exit walk mode, press the up button. Warning or error codes. Your e-bike has a sophisticated management system and will display a warning or error code if it detects an issue. The most common e-bike issue we see is the incorrect startup warning W013 that we described before. If you see any other on-screen error messages, then take a photo with your phone before taking any other action. Next, scan the e-bike help QR code on the e-bike's down tube and see if you can find the code listed and the recommended steps to resolve. If you need assistance, then call us on the business line immediately. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is for us to provide a solution, particularly if you wait until outside of business hours, as then we can only attend to the matter the following morning. Care of your e-bike. Care of your e-bike is your responsibility, and you need to be aware of the following. It is critical that you plug in your e-bike battery as we've illustrated. The plug only goes in one way and must not be forced. If you break the socket on a battery port, you will be liable for a replacement battery, and that costs close to $900 wholesale at the moment. Before you depart with your bike, confirm that your battery port is in good condition. Raise any concerns with one of our staff. Never put your e-bike into a bike rack. Bike racks destroy front wheels if the bike falls over, particularly e-bikes because they are heavier. Your best option is to put the bike on its kickstand next to a solid object. If you're worried about the bike blowing over due to wind, lay it on the ground with the chain facing up. If your bike falls, you run the risk of damaging the computer, cables, or thumb controller, and this is not considered wear and tear. Use the locks provided to lock your e-bikes if you are leaving them unattended. Charging your battery. If you're on a multi-day ride, you need to charge your battery. We recommend that you start the charging process as soon as you arrive at your destination. Depending on where you are staying, you may have to take your battery off the bike in order to charge. To charge the battery on the bike, do the following. Take your battery charger out of your charging bag. Carefully open the rubber cap on the side of the battery. Plug the charger into the battery. It only goes in as illustrated and should never be forced in. Plug the charger into the mains. A yellow light will display on the charger and the battery charge lights will flash on the battery. Confirm you can see this before leaving it to charge. When charging is complete, remove the charger from the battery port. Close the rubber cap. This is very important as dust will damage the port. To charge the battery off the bike, empty your battery bag contents before using the key. This helps prevent you from bending a key or snapping it in the lock. Insert the key into the lock. Turn the key to the left. Use your other hand to gently dislodge the battery towards you. Once it has shifted just out of the lock system, then remove the battery with both hands. Do not drop the battery. Carefully open the rubber cap on the side of the battery. Plug the charger into the battery. It only goes in as illustrated and should never be forced in. Plug the charger into the mains. A yellow light will display on the charger and the battery charge lights will flash on the battery. Confirm you can see this before leaving it to charge. Common question is, how long does it take to charge a battery? Battery charging takes from 1 to 4 hours depending on how much battery you've used. Installing your battery back onto the bike. You do not need the key for this process. Remove the charger from the battery port. Close the rubber cap. This is very important as dust will damage the port. Note the guide point on the battery mount and the slot that it fits to on the bottom of the battery. Roll the battery back into the locking system. Keep things aligned as you do this. Do not force it. Make sure you hear the lock click. Failure to do this will result in damage to the battery. Closing your dry bag. Put your battery charger back into your dry bag. Roll the top of the bag down and clip it together. This will keep the contents dry. Put the bag back in your pannier. Your battery bag is unique to your bike, so keep it with you. We recommend always carrying your battery bag in your pannier, as at some locations you will have to leave your bike and be transported. Without the bag you cannot remove your battery. Do not remove the key from the bag under any circumstances. Have a great time out there. Ride within your personal comfort zone and take some time to soak up the beauty and hospitality of Central Otago. Ka kite anō!